Hey guys, during this whole stay-at-home thing, I've really been exhausting my choices of stuff to do, and now I've narrowed it down to just two things. One, it's make a video about ride replacements, or actually work and enrich my life. Any ride open in a theme park currently is facing an inevitable, eventual, permanent closure. I'm here to talk about the theme park attractions that exist, but in place of ones that don't exist. Does that make any sense? Great. I'm going to look at rides that replaced other rides at Disney and Universal theme parks, and rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. You see, numbers are already a bit too much for me, so if I see a ride with more than 2 punctuation marks in its name, I'm gonna die. Oh, thank God, that's only 1 punctuation mark. Horizons is one of the most well-known extinct Epcot rides in the theme park community. So much so that kids born way after the ride went extinct claim to want it back, despite knowing nothing of what the ride's actual experience was like. That's like if I only liked stuff from the 20th century and just flat out refused to live in the now. The ride gave a look at what life could be like in the then far away 21st century, showing life in space, in the desert, in the big city, and under the sea. Unfortunately, it appears that the 21st century got a completely different memo than Horizons, and nowadays things are completely different. Many people who've been on Horizons say it is one of the best rides in Epcot, and maybe even one of the best rides in the world. So, Disney did the reasonable thing and closed the attraction. Horizons kicked the can in January 1999. Now, to be fair, there were many reports that the ride building was going to collapse in on itself any minute due to it being built on a sinkhole, basically requiring them to make a smaller building. The ride was replaced by Mission Space, an authentic space simulator that injured and killed multiple people. I tell ya, Mission Space is really getting some points in its favor. The ride offers a simulated trip to Mars with the help of Gary Sinise, my magazine's top pick for Man of the Year. Now, I've only ridden the green, non-spinning version of the ride because I'm a coward, but I'm pretty sure I can just simulate the experience here at home. I think it's a good attraction, but nothing major. It's one of those ones you see on the map, do once, and never really feel like doing again. However, the ride got a refurbishment around 2017 that majorly changed the 2 versions of the ride, making the less intense trip a ride around the Earth. It's basically just soaring around the world, but the guy using Google Earth just zoomed out way too far. But the biggest crime of all? They got rid of Gary Sinise. That dude made the ride. Many people riding knew him from Apollo 13 and associated him with space. I don't even know who the new host is. So with that said, Mission Space is a fine ride, but Horizons before it felt way more complete. Now, for our rating, I'm gonna have my friends over at Aerosmith call out the number, and that number is gonna be, 3! Yeah, it's just kind of alright. Yeah, I think I'm just too biased for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna restate here what I said about the Jaws ride. Oh wait, you're serious. Okay, I don't need much deliberation for this one. I'm gonna give it a... Okay, I think this is one I can actually talk about. Adventure Through Inner Space was an attraction that opened in Disneyland's Tomorrowland in the 1960s, being one of the first ever instances of the Omnimover in use. The ride shrinked guests to explore the inside of a snowflake as they explored molecular structure.
Man, why couldn't we be shrunk into something cool like a hot dog?
Now, being the zoomer that I am, I can, with full honesty, say I have absolutely never ridden this ride. But for the time it opened, it seems like a good fit for the land it was in. However, when it comes to the time the ride closed, not so much. Conveniently, Disney licensed out the theme park rights for...
Which technically doesn't really have a place in Tomorrowland because they literally say at the beginning of every movie that it takes place a long, long time ago. That's 2 longs. Get a grip, people.
Star Tours, a ride that helps guests escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday places like airports by simulating the hustle and bustle of an airport. You get to see boarding times.
But in space.
Go to a bag check.
But in space.
And receive safety info.
But in space.
The ride introduced a now fan-favorite droid character, Captain Rex, who takes riders on a very, very cursed excursion to the planet Endor. Instead of going to Endor, however, we end up in a battle on the 3rd Death Star and end up right back where we started.
We barely even flew past Endor, and I didn't even get a refund. I'm suing.
Star Tours is one of Disney's rare examples of a ride replacement that is better than the original ride in pretty much every way imaginable.
It also kind of helps that Star Tours isn't, boring. So that's why I'm gonna give it a 5!
Okay guys, don't kill me.
I really like Mission Breakout. Okay, no riding. You over there, put that pitchfork down. You look like you know how to use it, and I honestly feel threatened by your presence.
Yes, my username is directly related to Tower of Terror, and yes, I have ridden the ride 61 times. But no matter how much I wanted to hate the ride, I just liked it. When the ride was first announced up until I was on the lead up to my first Disneyland trip in 2019, I blindly hated the ride with a passion.
What a fool I was to doubt Joe Rohde.
If you just ignore the sightlines from the rest of California Adventure and look at the ride on its own, Mission Breakout is a really great ride. It does a great job re-skinning the old building and overall is just a fun experience.
I have ridden Mission Breakout a healthy amount of 15 times, meaning I can confidently give it this rating, knocking just a little bit off because of sightlines, and that rating is a 4! Wait, how many punctuation marks did that ride have in its title? Guardians of the Galaxy, okay, that's one mission. Oh my god, that's 3!
You get to see boarding times.
In space.